Hello everyone. Good morning and welcome. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Let's see if this auto picks up. There it goes. Perfect. Excellent. My name's Brian and welcome to Ginger Prime. We're doing a bright and early stream on this Thanksgiving holiday weekend. I'm going to be jumping back into some alpha Pax Dei gameplay and seeing how far I can go. I managed in an offline in an offline session to be able to build out a charcoal kiln and a pottery kiln. So I have been slowly but surely learning kind of all the ropes, especially when it comes to building. And so I've been starting to build out some walls and so much more. There's going to be essentially, I don't know how long this stream will be, typically probably around maybe at least an hour or a little bit more than that. If the kids get up and Julie needs my help, well, that's going to be it for this morning. But I have really great news. This afternoon, I'm going to be doing a members appreciation stream. We're going to be playing some more Star Citizen. That means, though, if you're not a member, you can still chat for free over on Twitch or over on Kick, or you can always jump into the Discord voice chat. Hopefully you guys have all had a wonderful holiday. Explodo Games, good morning, and Phil the Meme, good morning. No stand-up morning. Oh yes, dude. It's been a good break. It's definitely it's nice to be able to rest, and we went and my wife and I had a date yesterday. We also had great times with the family for Thanksgiving. It's been all in all a really good holiday. All right, I'm gonna Discord mute there. I don't have anybody hanging out with me now in voice, but that's okay. If you guys have any questions or tips or tricks or whatever, feel free to sound off in the comments, because I am generally very curious. Now, I have one thing I'm noticing is that when it comes down to my inventory, it's really starting to fill up. So I'm gonna see what else I can build right now, and then we'll go from there. I like that I have like an actual plot of land, and other gamers also have a plot of land in this game. It's pretty freaking cool. Construction, plots, crafting. What can is there a storage container? That's a stone anvil. Interesting. What is that? I wonder what that makes, if I haven't made one already. I'm just wondering from a storage perspective. A cooking hearth. Basic fletching table, alchemy, very cool. Lots of materials that I'm gonna need there. Small campfire, this would allow me to do some food. I do have a wood chopping block. Let's go, maybe it's under construction. Build some fences. Explodo says it's gonna be interesting to see how the general public reacts to this game. Dude, it's gonna be so interesting, man. And because you got to recognize the general public is going to absolutely hate it, and that's a good thing. I'm so like wanting a game to actually be able to deliver and have a great experience for gamers like this, and hopefully get the financial support to maintain itself. That's the real challenge. I don't care what the majority of gamers think, if they're going to enjoy this game or not, because the vast majority of them won't, because they want a Diablo, or they want that dopamine hit right away. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what they want. But then shift it all back 100% to, is the game big enough to be able to be supported, so that the players who have been craving something like this get it, right? They get it. They get what they've been craving. That it's also the level of persistence of actually building things in the open world, the sandbox, like let's go. And the hope is that players who are like, oh, I don't want that kind of game, I'm scared of that kind of game, I'm gonna avoid it. Okay, I got it. But then the game is doing well, and people are like, you know what, I'll go ahead and check it out, I'll go ahead and try it out. And then they see how a sandbox MMO addresses their core complaints about whatever game that they're playing. In this case. So there's my thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Ooh, boom, boom. All right, let's see here. All right, wait, there we go. No, that's a foundational stone. Interesting. I need clay. I got a little bit of clay. Stone wall foundation. I do have that clay needed. Short stone wall foundation. See, I was hoping that I wonder, I guess maybe I just have to level up to... These are crafting stations. Props. Oh, okay, maybe this is where it's at. Simple chest. Okay, cool. Rough wood planks is what I need there. Round wicker basket. I don't really want a wicker basket. Let's see here. A wooden cabinet. Interesting. All right, I need some rough wood planks. Okay. I do, and there ends up being something that's a little bit easier to manage with the equipping and dequipping. That would be nice. Let's see here. Do I have enough wood? Rough wood beams. Rough planks wood. Okay. I need rough beams. Okay. There we go. Let's go and craft them, baby. Worcester Worldwide Warrior Light. What's up, my brother? How you doing, dude? Oh, well, welcome back, Explodo. Dude, Star Citizen is also so good. Like, Star Citizen, Pax Dei, like, let's see the return of the Sandbox MMO. And it's going to have to be modernized somewhat. You know, it's not going to be like 100% how it was back in the 90s or early 2000s. But there's so much beauty and strength in these kind of games that, you know, bringing in a little bit modern graphics set, bringing in, you know, newer technology. I mean, the visuals on Pax Dei are just breathtaking, you know, and I'm very much enjoying it, you know, if that's going to make any sense. Hey, I leveled up. I'm crafting level 4. And so, yeah, when they bring in PvP, I was surprised we actually had PvE in this game, but it makes sense. But I know there's going to be some updates and more. I've been following this game since they announced it. I'm just thrilled that they're like so confident. And this is such a strong alpha, right? Like, it's, you know, there's plenty of work to be done. Well, let's freaking go, baby. Dude, I appreciate you being here, man. It always means a lot. Like, because my streaming schedule's so random. It's like, oh, Brian's live. All right, let's see here. And boom, baby. All right, cool. All right, sweet. Yeah, dude. I like this system so much. Explodo says, yeah, I'm a hardcore Sandbox fan. PvE, Eve. Dadgum, my dyslexia gets me every time, man. It's almost a guarantee. Hardcore Sandbox, Eve. See, I never got into Eve. Star Citizen, yes. Pax Dei, yes. Mortal Online 2 was an interesting game that I was like, well, okay, I'll check it out at some point. And I'm not saying I won't check it out at all, but it was one that I was hearing because they had one server. A lot of people were like, it had a rough kind of launch, but they're launching as a subscription-based game, and I'm like, that's crazy. Like, the monetization behind subscription-based games now, I think, more or less compete with things like Game Pass and PlayStation Now, and that there is a level of subscription fatigue that people are having. So it's like, I do think that does actually limit your potential player base. But then, you know, what's the best monetization system out there? And it ends up, I feel like a buy to play with a battle pass that does not expire will probably be the kind of the preeminent what the majority of MMOs offer. But yeah, he says, I played the entire alpha and beta, and when it launched, their launch went really bad, unfortunately, and it killed their hype, but the game is going good now. Okay, I might have to get that and check it out, because one of the things people keep trying to like gaslight me on is they're like, Sandbox games, like, Brian, you're wrong. And I'm like, no, but that's what I like. And when I stepped into Star Citizen, I was like, oh my gosh, I felt this so like if you feel it immediately, like it's like there's this level of just, yeah, you're gonna, if you mess up, man, it sucks to suck. Okay, well, that changes how people approach the game. It changes how, because we're probably going to do a video topic on it this week about toxicity in gaming. And it's like, yeah, like, you know, one of the things that actually helps with that is when you actually have like a real consequences and rep to your actions, it actually has people start to work together and reducing. And so when someone's toxic in game, they become a pariah. And then they can't really do anything. So it ends up having like a real, social, a solution. But that probably doesn't affect that's not a good thing on the balance sheet for the developers. If you have players that are like, well, I would be toxic, but I'm leaving. I don't know. That'd be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting thing to explore. I think let's see here. Can I put things in the chest? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Open storage. Oh, baby. Okay, great. Oh, I can put public stuff? And clan. Oh, let's go. I'm going to just start. That's what I needed to do. Build me out some storage. Now, if it lets me craft from storing all this stuff, can I just right click? Oh, I can right click. Oh, yeah. I'm going to keep my torch. All right. That's great. Snoo. Inventory full. All right. Oh, yeah. More inventory full. I'm going to keep that for food. Read. Okay, cool. All right. Private. See, now let's see if I can craft. That was going to be my biggest problem that I've been running into. I was like, I'm running low on storage. I can't. I don't want to drop all this stuff. Oh, I can craft from storage, baby. Yes. All right, I think that's going to be good enough for now, dudes. Yes. This is so exciting. I'm gonna rearrange some stuff here. I should probably put them down there. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna say, can I put this? Yes. Put that all there for now. Okay, cool. All right, guys, we got some. Let's go into the woods. I click on one. All right, that's so much better. I mean, like, I wish there was an easy way to switch between all these things. It's like, turns out there is. I just was playing the game wrong. Let me do a little buff. Yeah. So Mortal Online's 2 is a pure sandbox. It's 100% community run like Eve was, and they have a toxic element. But yeah, the toxic guys, they add to the danger. That's right. And that's where you have to have PvP, because you need to find a way to to settle disputes in a game, right? And then it says, I think that the toxic guys are a welcome part of the sandbox experience because it reflects the real life. There's bad people in the real world, and you're 100% right. That gives the villains. But what I mean by that is that if you're just a toxic solo player, you're a pariah, right? But if you're like, all right, we're gonna be jerks to and be antagonists, and we're gonna try to go find these areas and destroy people's homes and things like that. Like, that does add to that, and but it comes out organically. The devs just give us the tools to go and play and have fun, and then it's up to us to choose to how we want to use those. Oh, hello, what's up, animal? Yeah. Oh, it's a fox. Process. What a fun word. I'm gonna process this fox that I just killed. I wanted to run into the forest and find things to kill. See, people are just building stuff, right? So, and the world in this game is huge. I'm still in the Shire. I think there's gonna be so much. And somebody also gifted me some pants, and that's where it's like, from a gear perspective, like the bind on pickup. I hate bind on pickup, dude. I hate bind on pickup. I can understand it for certain things, but man, like, let's go. Player crafted gear. Player crafted, like, let's let the players do it. Now, that does mean over time, if you don't have the population, it gets a little bit tricky. Somebody's building out here in the woods, dude. This is great. So there's some notorious solo highwayman in that Mortal Online 2 catch travelers on the roads. I'm gonna have to check out Mortal Online, dude. I think the servers are in Europe though, right? Like they don't have regional servers. This is, dude, look at, somebody built this, man. See, movement and like being able to pull yourself up on rocks and things like that feels so good. I was playing Final Fantasy 16 last night, and it's like you run into these spots where it's like, yeah, we don't want you to go here, but it's like, I should be able to jump over this, and then they don't let you, and it's like, come on. Is that the in-game music or? I find a lot of wildlife. I guess I just kind of spattered it in here. Dude, I'm very hopeful for PAX Day, bro. Like, this is their alpha. This is their alpha, and this, like, so far, like, and they've been able to push out updates, find bugs, fix things. Like, this is a team that has a vision, and they're executing on it, and it's just absolute. I think it's absolutely breathtaking. What's up, Mr. Plastic Fantastic says Star Wars Galaxies had the best crafting system ever, and that breaks my heart that I never jumped into that. That's back when I was just playing Final Fantasy 11, and it's like, oh man, dude. And I have friends that played Star Wars Galaxies, and they tell me about it. That's okay, cool. I'm definitely gonna have to check out Mortal Online 2 now. And thus, the era of the return of the Sandbox MMORPG for all to enjoy. You just spend the entire stream just kind of running through these fields and exploring. I don't know what direction I'm going in. Where am I? Can I place my own mark? Oh, okay. I can left control. I can put a house or... Okay, cool. I can do markers. Left control, set clear waypoint. Okay, cool. All right, I don't know what that it did, but does that show? Oh, does it show up on my... Or is that the wind? Is that wind telling me to go in the direction? If they're doing it with wind, baby, that's even better, man. Like that minimalist UI, letting the player just drip into the world. I think that's where I think people who've won in those kind of experiences have had to go into the private server experience. What's this? Ghost of Tsushima vibes, dude. Dude, oh, a boar. Let's see if I can kill a boar. He's got, yeah, boar much harder to kill than a fox. Sweet. Lots of rocks over here. Oh, cool. And I naturally heal. So from a downtime perspective, I know there's the stamina system, But there's also a little bit of passive healing too, which is fine. Like downtime kind of then incentivizes other things, right? I have seen other players. Now, I don't know if I've seen them this morning, but typically, yes. Every playing experience has been that. I think they're doing they want to do a stress test in a certain area today, and that might be what's going on. Oh no. But when I was playing like Valheim, I was like, gosh, like let's bring all this to the MMO, man. Gotta let that stamina. It's gonna be interesting to see, like, does food and gear affect like your stamina regen while you're doing things? Because that then would drive demand, right? And you're like, oh, you don't want to be sitting here getting winded all the time. Guess what? Players created cool stuff for you. Whoa! Good morning, Jordan.
Oh my gosh.
27 months, dude. Thank you so much for that support, dude. Just dropping in with a casual good morning. Oh, by the way, 27 months. Dude, you're amazing, man. Resources had classes. Let's say metal and 10 for itself had stats, quality, decay, resistance. What if inflicted different benefits was that you made out the crafters in Star Wars became legendary, dude. Yes, if that's what, and if you wanted to supply the crafters, like, I don't know. I like things that incentivize players, but again, I don't want anybody to be under the disillusion that I think the Sandbox is going to ever be more popular than the theme park. It's just like saying, like, with kids, that they're going to pick cookies over a steak every day, no matter what, until they hit a point where they're like, you know what? I've had cookies every day. You know, I think with the younger the kids, it'd be like cookies versus pizza. Like, I think I would say, you know, both are really good. Well, for me, I pick steak because that's what I get to eat occasionally. Dude, look at this house, man. I bet it took a lot to gather those resources. Oh, 1 second, get some text messages. Dogs out. All right, 1 second. It's give me a second, guys. I'm gonna go let the dogs outside real quick. I've been watching my brother's dogs over the holiday, so I'm gonna go let them outside so they can run around, etc. So I'll be right back. back. All right, cool. Dogs are doing good. I don't like to let them out while it's still dark because I don't want them to, I don't be scared and bark. I know that sounds silly, but it is what it is. You had your last carbohydrates 2 years ago? I'm assuming though that you're still eating vegetables though. Like I think I'm almost down like 50 pounds. I won't have another official weigh-in for a couple of months, but I got down to where I'm on the last holes of my belt loop, and it feels so freaking incredible. Like it feels so good, and now we're actually running into the problem where instead of clothes not fitting. They're not fitting, but because they're baggy. So I got dressed for church this week, and I was like, oh my gosh, like there's just, I don't know, like we're gonna have to at some point, I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and actually go buy some new clothes, which will be fun because that it's just gonna feel good. Because like for the longest time, it always is like, nope, gotta keep on keeping on. I also like that this game supports native controller support. Whoa, Thieves90!
I just wanted to look nice.
How do I do a shout out?
Just want you to know that transporting 5 mugs.
Welcome in, everyone. Thank you for the raid. Let's see here. How do I do a shout out? Shout out for streamers. Let's see here. I have no idea. Guys, go check out Thiessen. So much, dude. Doing great, man. I'm enjoying this game. We've been talking about my love of Sandbox MMOs and how like both Pax Dei and Star Citizen, like it's just like I'm seeing a resurgence, hopefully, in this, and in a way, like everybody talks about MMOs, but they really kind of are talking about theme park. In a way, like what I think is that Sandbox MMOs are their own genre. Right? Yeah. I hope that makes sense. Right now, I'm just running around exploring. Had an intention on fighting a couple things, so I killed a fox and a boar, and it's been really good. How are you doing, dude? What were you playing, by the way? Oh, wait. I think I remember the command. 1 second. SO. Yeah. The Sin 90. Yes. Sweet. Recently streaming Pax Dei, dude. What's up, man? How are you liking this game? Yes, this is right now a PC game, but it does support controllers. There's like I should get like controller cam. Like I can run around. I can interact with things. It's actually pretty decent. So will it come to consoles? I think that they're setting themselves up with a real strong case to come to consoles. Oh, Clay. Gotta gather. It's like I need this resource so bad. So this is so Jack over is asking what's this game about, and this is a sandbox MMORPG. It's got with the PvP stuff hasn't been brought in yet, but like people built that house over there. Like people can build things that are persistent in the world, which is really cool. And I think it's gonna like overall the full-on game loop. I don't personally know yet, but oh, welcome back. Sorry, yeah, ads, freaking Twitch, man. I'm glad Twitch is starting to push the Twitch Turbo so people don't feel like they gotta support. All right, we got a boar. Yeah, I'm attacking with the controller. Can I attack faster on the mouse? Oh, I can. Okay, so that's one thing. It's much faster to attack with a mouse. But so everything's going to be player driven. Everything's going to the player economy. Like that, I think it really is leaning into this real aspect of what does it mean to be a sandbox MMO. And that's exciting for me. Yeah, let's get some materials for crafting. Yeah, so there's still like combat stuff. Like it's not like I guess I've heard of that they've got caves in this game that have lots of enemies in it and stuff like that. But what I would venture to guarantee is that you're going to see a lot of people who are like, I love MMOs. And they're like, this game sucks. Because it's not what they're used to. They're used to that, like, you know, gear treadmill that's just going to burn them out after like a couple of months. I think the combat hasn't been fully implemented, and that would be why, I would say. Because they said that the focus of this alpha is about like kind of like building and crafting and things like that, which I think they really did a great job on. So, because like I don't like you get skills and stuff from that. I got this just axe. That's all I've got. And then if I pull up my like inventory, no, there we go. Like somebody gifted me these pants. And apparently you get your like skills and spells and your class from what you're wearing rather than that. So like all in all, like I'm still learning what it is. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So I don't think that those systems, according to what I've read from the devs, have been fully implemented. So Thiezen says, I was a bit sad yesterday when I lost all my crafting stations and some boxes. How did you lose all your stuff, dude? Because I just made some boxes so I could have more inventory. I love that I can craft from my inventory, like from my storage, which is great. See, a player built this just out here in the woods. They went and claimed this part of land, and then they were like, I'm going to build this house. And then that's awesome. Next to this river. And you can swim. But it does take stamina, so you can drown. You know? Yes. Azure, like this is going to be such a fun game to watch because I would say their alpha is so incredibly strong right now. It's so exciting. Like I think this project actually officially started in 2019. They've been building this basically in their minds for a very long time. So I don't know if this game comes out in 2024, but I do know that what they're showing us today is phenomenal. What's going on, Jim B? How you doing, dude? If that is if your profile pic is you, dude, you have a sweet beard, man. Beard game recognizes game. Good morning, everybody. I hope y'all all had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend and got some good food and got some good time. I got to take my wife on a date, which is rare, so we got to go out and see the new Napoleon movie, which was fun and interesting. And one of my friends, oddly enough, is a doctor of French military history, and I've been enjoying watching him rant a little bit about why did we let the British make a movie about Napoleon, because he feels like it's heavily biased from the British perspective about Napoleon, which is funny. So it's been a good couple of days, dude. Yeah, respect for your beard, dude. You're a good looking dude. Oh, I took some damage, fall damage, baby. I wonder if I can die then. I gotta be careful. I haven't died yet in this game. Whee! Dude, I love that movement. Just that animation, it just is so nice. Dude, look how deep that's death right there. What we're looking at, guys, is if I were to fall, I think I would drown right there, hands down. Speaking of, for those of you who are just interested, after this, the stream's going to go for a little bit. Today, we got approval from the wife, but if the kids get squirrely, that's just when we wrap up. As a dad, I mean, the kids come first. But later today, I think right now scheduled for 2 p.m., I'm going to be jumping back into some Star Citizen. I cannot wait. I bought my first ship on the last stream. We're going to take that out and see if I can also do some first-person shooting missions in that game. So dude, I'm so freaking happy, man. Not only has 2023 been such a fun year for games, oh, dude, like stamina just going down as I try to run up these hills. I love it. Freaking love it, dude. 2 p.m. Central is when that stream's already scheduled, so we'll be live everywhere. What I'm going to do for that, because one of the things I've been wanting to do for a long time is is a members appreciation stream over on Ninja Prime, but you'll still be able to chat for free over on Twitch or on Kick. So if you guys aren't members, like you're not, being punished, but for member chat over on YouTube, that's what we'll do with that one. And voice chat will still be open to everybody. So I was like, yeah, oh, good deer. Let's see if we can kill it. See if I wish I had a bow and arrow. That'd be cool. Oh. Can I run him off the cliffs? Whee! Ah, missed him. Bummer. All right. Well played, dear. Well played. Today is RSI Day on AIE. I don't know what RSI Day is, but I would love to know. Oh, it's too hard. That tree is too hard. Do not have the skills or the tools yet for that one. RSI Day is the best day? Well, great. Thanks, Jules. I appreciate the... She's like, yeah, go play some games today. I was like, yay. Oh, too hard. Boo. That's when all the bangers are for sale. See, I've already spent my budget for the month. So I don't think I can squirrel away some more money. Oh, what do we got? Oh, a bear. Oh, a gray wolf. Let's see if we can kill the wolf. I'm gonna eat this food though. Oh, I was like, is he gonna be my friend or something? I was like, I didn't see the red text if I was in. Dude, it sounds like I'm beating up a dog, dude. Like that's, it'd be nice if they made that wolf a little bit more. Oh, hey Jimmy, over on Kick, man. Thanks so much, dude. Found you. Dude, the alpha's been so good, dude. Oh, Flint. Oh, I haven't found Flint yet. Sweet. I don't know yet. Why don't you go to the restroom set? Close the door, please. Go ahead, close the door. Thank you. He's doing a little dance. Let's see here. Mikey and the kids have been getting really good at Super Mario. I'm thinking about having to pick up some Splatoon, start getting them trained on the shooting aspect of games. Dude, but this alpha's been so good, dude. Running Gargle, I hope that you, that I honestly, based off of just how this alpha went, I think that I don't know how long, man, there's still, like, because they've talked about, like, the PvP and other things they were going to bring into the game, like, yeah, it's still got plenty of development left, but what they've already shown, like, the persistence of the world online, chat, like, I've run into so many like players, and it's just like, okay, I wonder. It's Unreal Engine 5, and also they were talking about how it's built up on some more cloud tech, which is like, I think that's just going to really help it excel. And so this is kind of like, people from an economy perspective, like Eve was obviously, this is done by the guys who built Eve, so I do wonder if we'll see like that level of drama that plays out in Eve, but in a new modern, fantasy-based game, Dude, yeah, you get a solid foundation. That's the beautiful thing about sandboxes, right? Like, oh, there's not enough content. Well, players are making their own content because you've given them the tools so that they can craft the things that are interesting to them. And then, as the development team lean in, support those things, build out, new stuff. But then you don't have to release like, updates every couple of months, which then, which drive up y'all's cost, and, people hyper consume the content. It's like, okay, I don't know. I like that clay. Yes. I'm just running around harvesting resources. They rated your wallet years ago when you buy the big RSI ships. Oh, they will be rating my wallet, but when I'm gonna pick up some flight sticks and pedals. That's gonna be my next level of investment to the game, and then I'm gonna pick up some new ships after that. So I expect I might be spending $1,000 on Star Citizen, not directly, because again, like when I looked at the price of the sticks and whatnot, that's like $500. And then I'm gonna pick up some new ships next year. So I'm probably looking at about that, like $1,000 on Star Citizen next year, which isn't like for me like that bad, right? You know, so it's like, but I know like for a lot of gamers out there, it's like, dude, I can't even pay for, you know, this. It's like, yeah. I want to get the Reclaimer, the $400 behemoth thing that I flew out very poorly the other day. It was so much fun. But I do want to pick up kind of a wide range. I bought my first ship, and it was the Cutlass Black, and I'm looking forward to going and flying that around. And oh, a rabbit, sweet. It's so funny because like I know like the hardcore MMO raider that came from WoW and expects World of Warcraft for all things. Oh, I missed him. I'm like, and I'm literally just having the time of my life, and I'm like, hey, it's a rabbit. Oh, come on. Yes. Sweet. Ooh, small grilled meat recipe unlocked. Oh, another rabbit. Yes. I'm such a nerd. Oh, man. Oh, you did 2,000 quite easily? Yeah, I think so far I'm just at $170. So, but I don't have any more money this month. Oh, more rabbits. This is the rabbit world, baby. The music is super fitting. Yes. It's like, Brian, how do you play Pax Dei? Well, I run around fields hunting rabbits, and I do that for eons. Dude, Mr. Plastic Fantastic's over 10K. Dude, salute. What's going on, Don? How you doing? Don over on Twitch. Yes. Fiber, baby. Boom. There we go. Mr. Worldwide Warrior of Light says, this is how MMOs should be. This brings me back to the memories of Ultima Online, a very player-driven economy. And whenever you get stronger, well, the fun is raiding. The fun of raiding is super fun. What I was going to say is about like player-driven economies, they have the ability to they auto-incentivize content. And it is player-driven incentive as opposed to developer-driven incentive. So what developers have done is they've delivered these, you know, and when you hear about gamers talk about, gotta go do your chores, it's like that in and of itself is like, that's a fundamental, I think, problem, because it works until it doesn't. Players are going to be like, oh yeah, I gotta get that dopamine hit. And then eventually it's like, oh, the rewards taper off and there's no player-driven value where it's like, oh, if I go farm those rewards, I can put those out in the market and somebody else can decide to purchase them from me, and then I can do that money and I can take that and I can upgrade my gear, or I can, you know, buy more of this, or, you know, buy another piece of land, you know. So when you lose that economy, you have to have developer incentivized, and when the devs have incentivized a piece of content, people will abuse it, burn out, and then be mad. And so the Sandbox addresses, in my opinion, the Sandbox truly addresses the core complaints that people have about theme parks. And vice versa, right? Like the complaints about Sandbox is like, well, what do I do? It's like, oh, whatever you want. And then people get, you know, stuck because they're like, I'm expecting the game to go to A, go to B, go to C, go to D. And if it doesn't do that, then they get stuck. And I think that's why I hope for the future of the MMO is a sandbox MMO, but they can bring in some theme park elements, right? They can say, hey, you know what? Today I just want to kind of work on these quests or something like that. But who knows? We'll see. I really want to see more player-driven quests. I don't know about you guys, but I would love to be able to sit down, and this is where kind of a buy order comes into play, where it's like, I want 1,000 rabbit skins. Oh, okay. That's a player-driven quest, and you get to participate either in all 1,000 of it, or you get a supply. Hey, I got 30. I'll just, get 30 and I'll get that money. Yeah, Sand Park, but mostly Sandbox. Dude, look how beautiful this world is, man. All right, looks like my inventory is full. The one thing I don't understand is like how fast that is too. Like that's some serious fast travel. One thing I don't truly understand yet is how to find my way places. So I need to probably start unlocking some of these shrines. All right, I like that I can craft from. Probably need to make some more. I made 3 chests, but there we go. When it starts filling up this bar, I know it's time to head back. Dude, oh my gosh. Captain Radix with 17 months of support, dropping their membership reminder. That's the word we're going to use with it. Thank you. Random milestone message. Thank you so much. Guys, if you're not aware, I wish YouTube is so weird because it's like, that's why I'm so glad we could multi-stream everywhere without consequence now. So if you guys prefer Twitch or Kick or whatever your platform preference is, we're there. But YouTube, like, they don't even tell you. So you have to click on like the $sign and then you have to say, hey, send my membership milestone. So if anybody here's a member and they have a milestone message, be sure to drop that in chat. I love seeing it, and I want to thank you guys so much for your support, man. Let's see here. Over on Kick, Jimby says, you take a look at the map yet? If there is one. Yes, let's pull up the map real quick. That's a great thing to talk about, Jimby. So here, all right, so rule 1 year. 1 year. And I love that over on YouTube, I can set the price. So if you guys aren't aware, it starts at $1, which is so cool. I've been able to release videos into early access. Whoa. And over on Twitch, Phil the Meme, thanks, man. 39 months of support over there, dudes. Thank you. But yeah, like this map, dude, it's massive. And I think that this is just one zone. Technically, there's going to be plenty more, and I've literally just been, I'm assuming, just running around the Shire. So here's my plot, right? Little tiny plot here in the Shire, and there's so much more to explore. And then they're gonna end the alpha, and I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see more. So, whoo yeah. Raz says, I like that when I buy premium, it actually has a point. LOL. The Explodo says, I like the Twitch experience, but I like the YouTube lack of invasive ads. Dude, I 100% agree. Now, YouTube has started to insert ads into live streams. So I have a couple different channels, and they got it to where it's called the ad automator. And so just as that, like, if you have YouTube Premium, like, that's the best way. Or I guess now they have the Twitch Turbo, which is huge. And I'm glad that they're promoting it, but it's just like, I wonder how long YouTube gets to claim that. Like, that's where it's like, yeah, I'm on YouTube. Ads won't interrupt the stream at all. Sorry, Twitch and Kick, Kick's just out there doing Kick stuff, Yes. All right. I dropped stuff off. Let's see what I can make. Let's see here. Craft some items. It doesn't. Stone anvil. Interesting. Maybe it's only in my. Yeah, I got. Okay, so I have. It won't let me do this stuff from the boxes. That's unfortunate. That would be a minor quality of life thing that I don't think people can complain about. Let's do this. I take the meat. I'm gonna probably make a little campfire. resin in case I need it. All right, let's see here. Got bricks. Make planks just in case. Animal hide. I don't have any tannery stuff yet. Charcoal. Planks. Wood. I like that with these things, you can kind of set it and then come back and collect it. Need iron. Can't wait till I can craft some iron stuff. All right, I know that I need beams to make planks, so I'm gonna go and make some more beams so I can make some more chests. Dude, and that's just one. Like, I'm hearing it's gonna be huge. Yeah. I really, like, as a comedian, it sucks. I've been trying to work on my Trump just for impression purposes, and I just can't get Trump down yet. I mean, it's huge. Got the best maps. Oh, got to keep working on that grind. I've done a little Jimmy Stewart and Harry Carey on stage, so that's been fun. I guess I could probably work on Biden because I have a joke about Bidenomics. So the most favorite line that I have from him is "You dog-faced pony soldier." Like, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. AI presidents play. Dude, Shane Gillis is incredible as both a comedian, but also on Trump. Yeah, I'm a stand-up comedian, Jimmy. I actually got, if you guys are interested, December 2nd, I have tickets, the link below if you're in the Fort Worth area. I'm going to be at Hyenas Comedy Club. And then I'll be back at Hyenas on December 23rd as well. So if you guys are in the Fort Worth area, tickets are there. Souls have been selling out. The last couple shows I've been on have sold out. So if you want tickets, you got to get them. But yeah, so it's been good. I'm going to be celebrating 2 years doing stand up here in February. So it's coming up pretty fast. It's pretty exciting. Level 5 on crafting, baby. Things just getting a little bit easier. AI presidents rate Metallica albums is the funniest thing on YouTube. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up. End of speech, repeat the line? I don't understand that one. Hey, what's up, Mikey? Right. Go ahead. Is she in there? Hey, Annie, it's Mikey's time with the Switch, sweetheart. Go ask her nicely, and if she doesn't give it to you, let me know, and I'll come parent. Alright, looks like they're playing nice. Boom. I love that my chair rolls like that. Oh, I remember that. I was reading the teleprompter, a thing you said, you don't understand, LOL. I don't think he was reading a teleprompter when he said dog face pony soldier. It was to like a guy and like, yeah, I don't know, in his thing. We'll just craft one of these. Why not? He said that while reading. I thought he was talking to like a constituent. Either way. It makes me so happy. Okay, I got charcoal. Do have clay. I picked up a lot of clay, so let's see if I can make. Okay, 1 second, guys. The controller, the Switch is not being handed off when it's supposed to. I'll be right back. Oh, also, if you guys haven't already and you want to help support, my comedians have challenged me to get to 1,000 Instagram followers. Instagram's a big networking tool, actually, for stand-up comedy. And so the link is in the description. I think it's the second link below the tickets. And if you haven't followed me on Instagram, please hit that follow button. It would be really huge. You guys have pushed me from like 50 to over 200 so far. So we're making really good progress. I need to do a better job at promoting myself. I was hanging out. I did an open mic, and we actually had a real crowd at the open mic, and they loved the jokes that I was working on. And I was hanging out with them after the show, and I was like, gosh, I forgot to have them follow me on Instagram. So I'm gonna have to get better at promoting that stuff. Exploder says, I think my favorite comics are Brian Regan, Shane Gillis, and Dave Chappelle. I know Dave is a given, but Brian Regan is my guy. He is super funny, and he can do it clean, which is much harder. And you're 100% right, dude. Brian Regan's phenomenal. I've been following Brian Regan for probably over 20 years. My uncle Mike introduced me to him, and he's great. And it was crazy. His last special, like, he comes out with the silver hair. He's like, let's talk about the hair. And I was like, that's how you do it. Like, because we hadn't seen him in a while. And so, yeah, Brian Regan, I think, is really excellent. And all those comedians you just listed are great. I also like Andrew Schultz. He does such a great job. And like, we're seeing such a resurgence in stand-up comedy, which is really exciting and to see. And the clubs have just been packed. I think a lot of people are just like, I just want to be able to laugh at stupid stuff and not have people try to, get me fired from my job. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, I made sure my job knows, like, hey, I make some pretty sketch jokes, guys. Some pretty racy stuff sometimes. Let's put the flint in here for now. Dude, that's where, like, one of my things, I don't do much crowd work yet. And I was like, that's something I need to, I'm kind of like, all right, I gotta start easing into that. Let's go ahead and make some more bricks. See, I like that you put these in queue and then they just kind of process. Like, there we go. Make some charcoal. So those are going to do things while I do other things, right? So like I like how that works. All right, let's see here. Let me switch over to this. That's so much easier. What I was doing before was so much more pain. All right, I'm going to build another chest. What else? Crafting. Any basic workbench, small camp. Oh, I need more rock and wood. Pottery kiln I have. A water well. What's this? Draw deep, pay the tithe, tarry not. I have planks and I need beams and rocks. I can build a water well. Okay. And a basic furnace. Clay. See, it would also be really cool is to kind of like say, like, right click and like track, like, hey, look, you need this, and this. Okay, cool. Like, let me go and build that. And cooking, I need some charcoal, which I'm making, and I need some rocks. So let me just go switch it out. Let's go back into the gathering mode. There's a place on YouTube called Comedy Unleashed, which is no rules, no PC comedy. They have a lot of people that's certainly political persuasion, but it's refreshing to see comics say whatever. It is refreshing, and it's interesting because, like, if you're not getting canceled, like, are you really a comic? It's like, where it's like, you got to be willing. You can't have golden calves in this, like, the comic should be the one who can make fun of the emperor and not having any clothes, right? Like, that's important to, I think, a free society. But I talk to a lot of comics who are like, who worry, like, it's like, especially because they're not like famous. And so, sometimes getting canceled is the best kind of promotion that you can ever hope for as a stand-up comic. But then for the guys who don't have a following yet, like, you know, they naturally worry because they don't want to lose the job that they do have. Out of stamina. But I think it is vitally important. And so, and that's kind of where I think you realize, like, there's just a minority of people on the internet that they use offended as a way of just getting attention. Like, that's so offensive. It's like, all right. Like, that's what somebody was saying, like, to me. Like, you can't just say it's just a joke as an excuse. And I was like, I agree. Like, out in the real world, I can't just run up to you, punch you in the face, and be like, dude, it was just a joke. It's like, that doesn't play. But when I was getting yelled at, I was like, dude, I'm on a stage. And you know what, the only review I care about, that's why I like seeing comments on my comedy channel. It just makes me laugh. The only review I care about is the review in the crowd at the time. Did they laugh? Yes or no? Yes, great. No? Okay, I gotta keep working it. There we go. Woo! Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out Comedy Unleashed. Because I don't know if this is still going on, but I know that I've heard from some of the other bigger shows that people go on, and it's like, you know, nobody else can record because we don't want somebody like clipping, you know, somebody working on a set, putting it out on the internet. Boom, baby. I think gear will also have kind of an upkeep cost or some kind of wear and tear. So there's going to be like, I don't think my axe right now is at risk of breaking, but I think at some point there's going to be like, oh yeah, your axe isn't sharpened or something. Yeah, was that him and when they did the cars and comedians and cars getting coffee. I like that episode. Yeah, Brian Regan's phenomenal. If you guys haven't seen Brian Regan, he's fantastic. This is a tree growing in a rock. All right. Sweet. Out of stamina. Thank you guys also for the 16 likes over here on the YouTube side of things. I appreciate y'all. All right, there we go. Yum. Looks like ad break ends here in a few minutes. I wish it would tell me when it was about to start. Choppity chop, baby. Sandbox MMOs with the return are going to be some of the most interesting MMOs as it relates to like streaming, right? Because imagine if y'all all had access. It's like, oh, Brian's live. Let's all jump in and do something. It creates the opportunity for us all getting together and doing fun and crazy things, right? Like, I think streaming has the potential to really, truly benefit the Sandbox MMO. The downside, though, is for people who aren't like content creators. Like, you know, like I think that's where. And the question I wonder is like, do devs like build in integrations, which I think would be beneficial? You know, so you could be like, oh, you know, I don't know. I'd love to hear what you guys think about that. Mr. Plastic says, but you're American, right? I heard you guys are the personification of political correctness. Political correctness is a term that comes out of actually communist Russia, and it's used to control people's thoughts and what they say and what they can't say. So I think you should always fight against the political correctness. And it's built off of this fake narcissistic empathy for people to where you're like, hey, yeah, from a friend to a friend, it's like, yeah, I'm not trying to be a jerk. Like, we'll talk and we'll figure it out. But when it's taken out in the broader perspective, no, I think anybody who's like, we gotta be politically correct. We gotta use, no. Oh no, it's in the air. This happened to me once before. Yeah, all right. Next time, tree, next time. I don't think most people are the personification of evil. I think most people are just trying to, like, live and let live. Just like, all right. Is this too hard? Is this too hard of a tree? Yeah, it's too hard of a tree. That tree's too high level for me. Explodo says, I think comedy is subjective and people laugh it's funny, but the same kind of sterilized comedy that has been pushed, man, that stuff is absolutely so cringe. I've seen some of that stuff and I'm like, ugh. So I don't know. I'm probably in a really good area for it because, within the DFW area, I think there's people are, at least they're responding to it. They're showing up. They're showing up for shows and stuff, which is great. But yeah. There we go. Sweet action, Jackson. Dude, well, the government's goal is to grow and continue to get more power, and that's not a shocking revelation. So that's why it's that. You got to remember that the power exists within the people, and what I feel is happening is, because I would say I'm center right, like that's generally where I kind of resonate. I agree with a lot of policies on the left. I agree with some policies on the right. When it comes down to it, but there's always going to be a balance. Some people try to shoehorn me into one way or another. It's like, good luck. You're never going to land on always believing on, one side. I believe in compromise, working together. I think that one thing that I would love to see happen within our Congress here is they have to, I think that it should be required that they actually have a balanced budget. And the reason is it forces them to work together. Right now, they're just everybody's just spending us into oblivion, which is all right, I'm sure that's going to bite our ass. Compromise doesn't always lead to what we got now. But right now, I don't see that we have anybody willing to work together because they don't need to. But who knows? I think somebody said it's we're kind of being governed by these extreme minorities right now, both on the right and the left. But essentially the point that I'm making is that the power is with the people, and they use social media and things like that to have the people fight about the bullshit. And because they let the people fight about the bullshit, the people aren't united in saying, hey, what the hell are you doing? Why, and so they get us distracted. And I think from what I've read from the Twitter files and what I've read online, I feel like that ends up being the case, Because I think at the core of it, when especially with everyday Americans, it's we want the world to be a better place. We want society to be a better place. The question and the difference is well, where is that money better spent? Where are the taxes better collected? What programs are the most useful? And one program that I'm really for is they had the child tax credit that essentially was lifting kids out of poverty. And this is what the data shows, data driven, programs that have that level of, foresight, but they keep fighting about it. And it's oh my gosh, dude, the fact is and it wasn't they're doing some kind of handout. Inventory full. All right, there we go. Now it's time to return. It wasn't they were doing the handout. They're just giving people their tax credit in advance. Now, a part of that, though, is to try to get women back into the workforce because they, to be able to afford childcare, which the idea and the phrase afford childcare is completely an oxymoron. Those things when I hear those things put together and it's back to back, I'm like, oh no, that's ridiculous. Can't afford childcare, you survive it. All right, get some charcoal going. All right, craft item. Craft some more bricks, baby. Sweet. All right, what else could I make here? All right, let me look at, again, this would be a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier, and I should put this as feedback. So, topic, crafting. Let us, summary, track as quests. So as we gather, we can see our progress. Let's see here. As I'm working to craft new things, it would be awesome to set the needed items as a quest item so that as I get said item, it shows me my progress towards crafting it. Say I love it. There we go. Cool. I like that they have that feedback element right there in the game. Phil the Meme says, I know it's a pipe dream, but I would love to see us ditch the representatives and go with a national referendum. What would that mean? I need more information about that. I don't know what that means. Let's see here. Me and my wife made sacrifices so we could raise our kids. Childcare is soft language for someone else raising our kids, if you can call it raising. That's a really good point. Like, me and my wife also make a lot of sacrifices. So she's a stay-at-home mom, which means she works a ton. The downside is that her efforts don't count towards GDP, right? So being that there is no incentive then to value that of the family, like if us as a country can look at like what family first initiatives can we have, that's a sign of a healthy society, because guess what? In 50 years, everything's going to be different. In another 100 years, things are going to be different. And if you don't have the ability, because what we see and what I hear from especially a lot of women is they want to have families, but the money and the finances don't make sense because they feel like they have to work. They have to be in this grind. And then essentially what ends up happening to, unfortunately, a lot of women, especially this could be subjective, just a lot of women that I know, is that they end up aging out of being able to have children. And what they keep being told is that, oh, you can have kids in your 30s. Yes, it's possible for a small amount of women. At least, again, from my experience, is like all of a sudden, like you're in your 20s, yes. You're in your 30s, maybe. And then you get a little bit older and from that. And so I think that if we figured out how to incentivize adoption, that would be really great. I think if we could incentivize, rewarding whoever it was, the man or the woman, to be able to stay at home, count towards GDP and incentivize that, that'd be great. But what actually counts towards GDP, and why I don't think they're going to do it, is that child care counts towards GDP because you're paying somebody else to do that. But you don't, like, there's no counting of that if you don't pay somebody else to do the task. And I think that's in and of itself ridiculous. Welcome to my TED Talk, everybody. All right. Okay, yeah, that's what I was going to check. Not F2, number 2. Let's bring this up. All right, so I wanted to create some crafting stations. So I could create a stone anvil. Interesting. I have, what do I want though? Okay, I need some wooden beams, some bricks, which I have. I don't have linen cloth, so I would probably need a basic forge. Interesting. Oh, I'm close on a forge. Blacksmith workbench, basic blacksmith workbench. Pegs I need, beams I need, iron anvil I don't want right now. Oh, armor. Oh man, we can make some gear. Okay. Oh, and tools. Interesting. Okay. All right, let's see here. Where am I closest? A forge is the closest thing I'm to there. Is there a linen? A basic loom. Okay. Let me get a loom because I've got some fibers and I'm assuming that this is, oh shoot, coarse linen string. Okay, I don't know how to make that. Spinning wheel. Oh, I can make a spinning wheel. Maybe that's where I make fibers. Short, rough wood stock. 10 of those bad boys. Let's go. Short, rough wood stock. Well, and the thing though is that here's what I like to tell people, right? Because people get mad at me because they're like, because I'm not a Marxist. It's the internet. And it's not that I'm not for workers' rights. I think workers' rights are of value to us as a society. However, we have to play the game for the system we exist in today if we work to change it. How do you change your life? How do you actually get traction? First and foremost, you've got to recognize you've first been brainwashed because these credit card companies spend billions of dollars a year to entrap you, to make you a better employee because you're going to then settle for less money. Now, there are people who can use a credit card. That's usually the first pushback that I see anybody making. Yeah. Oh, Brian, if you just pay it off every month, I'm fine. Yes. The numbers show over $1 trillion cannot do it. So there is one person who can, maybe that person's you, be careful, but the majority of people cannot, and thus they get entrapped, and thus they cannot demand their wage. They don't have the mobility to move because they get stuck in these payments. So get out of debt is the best advice that I can give anybody in society today, hands down. Dude, it's funny because a lot of people look at what Marxist is as the critique of capitalism, which I actually am fine with any kind of critique towards any system. I think we should always be open to dialogue. What they don't realize is what it is in the culture and how it's been implemented and the amount of death that it comes out of it. So it's just like, because it just is revolution. It's just chaos. And ultimately, guess who wins? The people with money. Because that's what they've done throughout all of history, right? So Karl Marx was the cousin of Lord Rothschild. So my wife and I right now, we are working on paying off our house early. Once my house is paid off, I owe nobody anything. Now, I have no consumer debt. I have no car debt. Cars, I have a very, very, very old truck, and it gives me problems. But I keep repairing it and trying to, just trying to get it to last. Because to go and, like, if I was going to have to go buy something, I'd go try and, if I could find a $2,000 car, beat her up, that'd be great. But when it comes down to it, being that I don't have any of that allows me to be a content creator. It allows me to take risks. It allows me to say no. And it allows me the freedom that if, let's say, the economy turns and I lose my job, like, I don't have endless amounts of things bleeding me dry. It's a death by 1,000 cuts, right? Like, that's what debt is. And what ends up happening is that there are people who can manage it month to month until Murphy's Law will come and just punch him in the gut. And then all of a sudden they get behind and they get behind and they get behind. Me and my wife, we worked hard. We worked so hard. Like, I'm talking about, like, I was working, 16-hour days. And I paid off $100,000 of debt. And I thankfully had that pain, that awfulness, that feeling of not being able to breathe, and then experiencing freedom to say, I'm never going to borrow money again. So help me, It is in my, and so we're working and we want to pay off the house and then essentially work to that. So that's where a lot of that's where it's like a lot of people like if you got student loans, let's get this paid off. Don't sit here and throw your future away at 20%. Start, get to the point where when you don't have debt, you can start investing and that investment starts to grow. And then you start seeing the beauty of compound interest. So at some point when people ask, would I ever want to be a full-time content creator? When I retire and I'm never going to have to be subject to y'all's support. And I appreciate y'all's support, but I don't want to be compromised by y'all's support. If I ever find a time where I'm afraid to have a real conversation like this, that's that's somebody being compromised, right? And so I see that so much, and I feel like, yeah, people sometimes, I'm not the most entertaining. I think I'm pretty entertaining as a stand-up comic on stage, but outside of this is about hanging out, talking about life, encouraging us to be better. And if I can make any impact on anybody's life to say, like, listen, you can get out of debt. You should get out of debt. And if you need help, let me know, man. I can sit down and I can help you out with your budget. I can be your spotter. I think especially if you're single, right? Like if you're single and you don't have anybody in your corner telling you like these things, like just like you would go to a gym, like, hey man, like if you're gonna, like, is it in your budget? Like let's start with learning how to do a budget, because that's going to be your biggest wealth building tool, because people just light money on fire. They just piss it away, and then they look back at their lives and they're like, how much money did they lose? Probably $5 million. It's going to be an absurd amount of money if you don't tell your money what to do. Oh yeah. Sweet. Anyway, thank you again for indulging me for a minute. Appreciate y'all. Dude. Mr. Coots' wife and Dave Ramsey playing back in 2014 got out of debt as well. Dude, that is phenomenal, man. That is so awesome to see, dude. Well, it's not that you can't have a $300 a month energy drink habit, right? Just put it in your budget. Just say, I'm going to spend $300 on energy drinks this month. Like, I don't care how you spend your money at all, dude. Like, but just tell it where to go. And so I've been actually talking, one of the community, we all get together, we've been kind of rawing each other on at the comedy club, where it's just like, dude, like, you want to go spend money on whatever, go for it. Just put it in your budget. So that way you don't spend that money and then you spend it again because you still see it in your account. That's what gets a lot of people. They'll pull up their bank account. And they're like, oh, I see money in here, not realizing that they've already spent it. It just hasn't come out yet. And so then they double spend it. Then they get those dadgum fees that just like, oh, and fees and interest payments. Like, that's just stealing money from you. See, that's it. You're 100% right, Explodo. The problem is they don't know that there's losing $300 a month on that product because they're not doing the math on it. Yeah, 100%. All right, we were going to make this, which I can now, baby. I'm not going to put it by the fire in case it's like, fire spreads, your plot of land is destroyed. I'm going to put it on... I can't put it on the rock. Okay. Wool string. Flax fiber. Okay, I think I need to... Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me put it in the thing. Craft from storage on my plot. Feedback. Oh, not a bug. Here we go. Crafting. Would love to have the ability to pull materials from crafting, for crafting, from my chests on my plot. Sweet. All right, now I know I got some fibers, which is great. Mustard seed. All right. Yes. Oh. Yep. There we go, baby. Oh, at level 1. Okay, cool. Different types of crafts have different levels. This is awesome. So Mr. Plastic Fantastic says, I brought my health in order with changing my diet, build a tool shop, to be my own boss if the shit hits the fan. So I'm almost down, I think 50 pounds right now. Like, so I don't know if we can see all this. I still got a belly, but yes, dude, changing your health. I got, you know, my goal is to get below 210 pounds, and I started at like 320. So overall, and if I can get lower than that, that's gonna be sweet. So I'm very, very happy, and I feel so much better, dude. And like playing games is so much better. Like I'm really glad that I finally found the issue of why I couldn't lose weight. So we've been able to get that resolved, which has been very helpful. All right, tailoring level 2. It has a 1 by tailoring. I don't know what that means. Gas stations are ripping people apart. They work all day, but they spend 20 to 35 a day on snacks when they stop twice a day at a convenience store. Wow. Oh, so I was pre-diabetic too. So I've been able to lower my A1C. The last check was I was actually at a 5.7, which is the low end, the pre-diabetic range. But I'm really looking forward to seeing when I get evaluated again. My next scheduled appointment isn't for the spring, so my hope is that I can see if I can't, you know, lose more weight and get out of that range. Phil the Meme says, I doubt I'll ever retire. I've been doing contract software dev for the past 5 years, and it's the best. I need to pick up and choose where and when I work. Dude, Phil, I think that you and I are probably going to be in that same boat as well. Like, retirement, though, would be like, all right, here's a fun project that we want to work on. I'm going to go work on said project, you know? Ooh, linen string. Rough linen string. Let's go. It says hard. Let's see if we can do it. Dude, Mr. Plastic is also down 50 kilos. Dude, not also down. You're well ahead of me. That's over 100 and some odd pounds, dude. Way to freaking go. Mr. Kuhn says, wife and I also did keto during COVID. She lost 100 pounds and I lost 55. Yes, dude, that is such a beautiful thing. I'm proud of all of you guys. Y'all are inspirations. Not gonna lie, dude. Y'all are so inspirations. What's up, Jacob? Good morning. Dude, I'm doing great, man. No one to reply to. All right. So I should be able to craft some more linen, yeah? Keep the rock, linen, rough linen string. Keep that. All right, let's see here. Let's get back to our quest to make materials. Okay, I want a furnace to be kick-ass. A well, though. Rough beams of wood and rough planks of wood. Beams and planks. I need 3 beams and 12 planks. That's doable. All right, beams and planks. All right, got to make a bunch of beams. Do I have the wood? If I was smart, I'd organize my my stuff by what's inside. Like, here's my wood box. I do have some that's short wood stock. I do have planks. All right, cool. Let's see here. What do we got? All right. All right. So, in terms of, I got the planks and I need the rocks, which I already put. I have the rocks, which are in the storage, and then the beams. So I need to get some wood to make us some beams. Put these in here, and let me grab it. Have I put my rocks somewhere? It's charcoal. Keeping my stuff all, trying to have it somewhat organized. All right, let's go get some wood. I wish the one thing I would like to see is like the tree actually does pop back in. It'd be fun to see if it actually kind of grew, right? Like you chop down a tree, it's like, yeah, you can let it grow and it can grow to become a really big tree. For me, it was testosterone. Like for the longest time, I've been like, why am I not able to lose weight? Like I'm not drinking alcohol, I'm not eating sugar, you know, like I'm working out. What's the problem? So for me, because cortisol and testosterone are generated from basically the same perspective. So, oh, that was a shift in the lighting. So having addressed and now on testosterone therapy, that's been a huge help for me. You're able to walk away. Exactly. You're able to walk away from a job because you don't and what that makes you is actually, again, it gives you because what happens is that all the leverage is with the companies, and that's why, like, oh yeah, you know, get a low interest credit card, build up your credit score. Like, it's all built to try and keep you to be a low paying employee. Like the system, that's where it's like when we talk about like how can we better lives, it's like, unfortunately right now, like the only thing you can do, because I'm like, if you sit down and like, well, it's just this governing body just needs to make this one law change. It's like, change your life now. And then, yeah, advocate for that change for sure, but change your life. You got to learn, like, especially like you got to learn that you are your best advocate. And same thing, we're talking about weight loss, talking about food. Like, you control so much of what you put into your body. You control so much about what you bring into your home, spending wise, income, and an outcome as well. Explodo says we're actually doing our first commercial job right now, as I was in the private sector for a year up till now. Oh man, cool, man. Yeah, I need beams. Yeah, the ability to walk away from a job, the ability to build in the idea of countering. When people offer you a job, you should just get in the habit of countering and asking for more money or a perk or something, because it is a negotiation, right? Like, I always kind of think in a job interview is I'm interviewing them as much as they're interviewing me. And so just try to build in that mindset that you're going to always counter when offered. Like, hey, we want to hire you at this rate. Well, could you do $5,000 more? You know, we can do $5,000 more. Like, and if they say no, I'm sorry, we can't do $5,000 right now. Well, then you could say, well, how about in 6 months? Like, you know, if I prove myself, etc. You know, like, why don't we just bake that in to the time frame? And so you got to, if you can get into that habit where you're fighting for your rights, you're going to build that as a kind of a muscle that you can do. Kayvon says, what do you say when they ask how much you made at your last job? Oh, that's a really great question. I tell them the truth. You know, this is what I made. And this is what I want for this one. You know, and especially if you're already you also, like, again, how much leverage and negotiating power do you have? I currently have a job. I'm interested in coming here. Here's the value that I'm going to bring to your company. And I'm worth this amount. I'm making this right now. This is what I want to make. If you want to make, you know, that's the case. Yeah. They want to put you on your heels. So I was like, I just tell them the truth. This is what I made. And this is what I want to make. And so if this job doesn't pay that, I want to talk about, like, what does that roadmap look like, so that way I'm working on this and we're communicating these values. Because the other thing, though, is that, like, as somebody who's like, I would lose people to other companies for nothing. And I was always getting on, my boss was like, dudes, we have to, like, we're doing is training people to go over to Dell. All we're doing is this. Like, we gotta sit here and come up with, you know, like, give them that kind of hope, because a young guy also is like, oh, I don't want to let people know I'm interviewing. I'm like, let me know that you're interviewing, right? Like, that's gonna give me, like, let me be able to counter. Let me at least try to keep you on my staff, because I don't have to then train somebody else, you know? But that is just what it is. All right, let's see here. Grab all this. See what this well's about. See what this well's about. To put a well over here. Ooh, fancy. Hey, what's up? What's up? It will be your turn in 15 minutes. Okay? All right, let's build this bad boy. Yes. All right, cool. Now, what does the well give me? Like, why did I build a well? Water. Craft. Interesting. Can I only do so much? Ooh, small health potion recipe unlocked. Alchemy, baby. And that's leverage right there. That is the example of leverage. And that CFO, unfortunately, is stupid, because your knowledge and training is all out the door. You know? But that's the game, and that sucks. You know, so it's just like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to go find another job. The confidence to tell your CFO, though, when you ask for a raise and he says no, is that if you don't have debt, you're like, all right, I'm going to go find another job. And if he was like, well, fine, you're fired, like, then you're not in a world of hurt. You're just like, all right, time to go find another job. You know, and then you got the offer, right? But what that does tell him is like, fine, I'm going to go find another job. And then he can be like, oh, okay, if he leaves, okay, we're going to lose that knowledge base. We're going to lose this. It's going to cost me way more to hire somebody. And so then you don't have to even waste your time in that case. What's up, Lost in Walmart? Yeah, when your hiring budget is bigger than your retention budget, it costs way more to hire somebody than it does to keep somebody. You know? So let's freaking go. Thank you, Ashes, for following over on Twitch, man. As a reminder for anybody who's just joining in midstream or whatever, to this afternoon, I get to play some Star Citizen. I'm very much excited about it. So we're going to do it as a member appreciation over on YouTube. So member chat is going to be enabled over on YouTube. But if you guys want to watch on Kick or on Twitch, or hang out still in the voice chat on Discord, that's all still going to be free. That's going to kick off today probably around 2 p.m. Central. Yeah, it's gonna be some fun. Hopefully I can get some first-person shooting missions and so much more. Ashes to Ashes says, of course, loving the talk about anything while gaming. Yes, it is. It is an acquired taste. I think you guys are absolutely the upper echelon when it comes down to the community around gaming. Because some people are like, oh, just keep it about games. It's like, it is about games, man. We're talking about the game of life. Can I put water in a shed? So now that I have water, I can make some health potions, which would be cool. Boom, baby. Looks like ads are going to be running over on Twitch. So hopefully you guys are okay with that. Can I drink water? Can I just drink it? No. I need to get a fireplace so I can cook some food. Well, and I think that happens a lot, and that's where it's like, that's why when you, like, there's so many little things that people don't realize. like I want to talk about companies spend, billions of dollars to try and sell you debt. And then that debt is a trap for the majority of people. Over $1 trillion in carryover balance month over month, and that's only going to continue to skyrocket. That it's stealing people's future. That is stealing your future. And if you get out of debt and all of a sudden you're like, oh, instead of paying the bank 20%, I can put it over here, and let's say I make 10%. We'll be, conservative in terms of the numbers. It's going to go up and down at different years, different things. Let's say 10%. At an annual rate of 10%, your money doubles every 10 years. Every 10 years, your money doubles and you don't do anything about it, right? But if you're continuing to invest, all of a sudden, that snowball builds up and builds up and builds up. And then one day you look up and you're like, I don't need to go to work today. I make more money not working, like I can do what I want. And then all of a sudden you're like, the air smells better, food tastes better, life feels better, you're building yourself. And so all of a sudden it's like you can give 20% to the bank, or maybe you can take 10% for yourself. It's really, and then essentially what I always say is that money doesn't make you good or bad. It just makes you more of who you are. So if you're a generous person, you'll be generous with money. Be generous, right? Like the best thing that we can do as a society is to support each other, to be generous. And the only way you can truly have that generosity is if you're like, yeah, man, like here you go. I don't loan people money. I never do. I do not loan people money. If I give somebody money, like we've had some people in our community that have had a really bad year, and thankfully I've been able to help them out a little bit. I wish I could help them out more. I'm not loaded, but I make enough. What's up? Is it 15 minutes? You got 7 more minutes, sweetheart. So like that's where, I don't know. I think you can truly do something beautiful in this world, and you should be ready for that, because you never know when that opportunity, you never know when that widow, you're going to hear her story and you're going to be moved and be like, you know what, let me go buy your kids some bikes. It's been a hard year, and you can do so anonymously, and it doesn't, you just go and do it, And it's just like, dude, I sleep so much. Like once we got out of debt, I slept so much better. Once this house is paid off, I don't know, man. I'm gonna, it's like you just feel so much better. You got to work that snowball, man. Now, are you currently in debt, or are you at all? Because what a lot of people like, I like the Dave Ramsey plan, because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm gonna invest. I'm gonna start investing in your own debt. It's like you're just gonna be in debt forever. Like, get out of debt, and then you can start investing and be like, very driven off that aspect. But if you're not gonna go and attack your debt, then it's like, all right, you're just gonna be normal. And I would encourage you guys not to be normal. Be weird. Normal's boring. Normal is getting paid less. Normal is stressed out. I want you guys to be weird. How many more minutes? You got 5 more minutes. Yeah, a mortgage is a little bit different in terms of debt, because as long as like you can sit down and say, I'm going to do a 15-year mortgage, not a 30-year, a 15-year, and it doesn't go more than like 25% of your take-home pay, and then you work to pay that off early. A mortgage is actually something that could be of value to you, as long as you can afford those terms that I just listed out, because the house typically goes up in value as well. So it allows you to start building your wealth, your home, especially when it comes to your costs. Think about like when you get to retirement, locking in your, like your expenses, having your expenses kind of locked in, because I hear in Texas, when you hit a certain age, your tax rating also gets locked in. So your expenses basically are like, okay, maybe I need to just pay this much a month. And then you have your investments paying you, right? So when it comes down to it, like, yeah, like I have a mortgage. So it's like that is something where it's like reasonable. I would like to, if I get this house paid off, to continue to save so that, you know, I don't have a house payment. And then the next property that I purchase, which we would probably move, you know, we have a large family, I got 6 kids. And the reason I can have 6 kids and not be stressed out, you know, is because I don't owe anybody any money. Like that's the reality. I think when people have debt, they always the most people I talk to, they're like, I really wish I had another kid. Like, you know, that's usually a regret a lot of people end up having.
Daddy,
Yes.
3 more minutes.
You got 4 more minutes. Oh, wait, now 3 more minutes now. First time chatter over on Twitch says, I was fortunate enough to buy my house at around 10 years coming out of the housing crisis. Can't imagine trying to buy a new one now. Same here, dude. Now, I bought my house and they knocked off 30 grand because the market was a little bit down. And then all of a sudden, the thing is, a lot of people, you know, if you ever hear like what things that are going around on TikTok and investing advice is just garbage out there right now. So people are going to get trapped in the same traps they usually get in these get rich quick schemes. So don't try to time the market, guys. It's not about timing the market. It's about time in the market. And so this house purchase that Julie and I made, like that in and of itself was like absolute luck, you know, like that's time. We didn't time the market. It just happened to work out for us in that way. Joyful Arcade, dude, over on YouTube. I love you, dude. If you guys haven't seen him, and I just did a podcast this last week. Go give him a follow. If you're over on YouTube right now, click on his name, give his channel and his content a follow. Dude, Mark is such a phenomenal dude. And hopefully your wife's doing well. I know they're expecting a baby, so keep them in your prayers, please, which is going to be wonderful. So yeah, it's good to see you this morning, dude. Again, I get to play video games today, so I'm starting today off with some Pax Dei, and then later today we're jumping into some Star Citizen, so it's going to be a good fun time. I forgot what I was trying to build. Oh, I want to build some alchemy stuff. Let me go gather some more resources. Let me just check my inventory. Good. I'm doing good. 10 weeks to go. 10 weeks. And then we won't hear from Joyful for a while because he's going to be kind of tired. But
How many minutes is it like?
2 more minutes, sweetheart. Counting it down to the Switch handover. 2 more minutes to play. And then switching it. Dude, this game is so good, man. I'm loving the return of the Sandbox MMO, man. Like, this is so good. Now, one of the things I'm looking to invest in is making my own game. I'm looking at doing some numbers and things like that. And so that's just, I don't know if that's going to happen sooner or later. So I'm still working on kind of a plan, because what I end up keep running into is I'll start working on the game. I'll start working on the game and I just get busy.
Into my turn.
1 more minute. And so it's like, yeah, I think what I'm going to end up doing is just trying to see, like, from a financing perspective, like teaming up with a team and start working on it. When's the Pax Dei release date? There is no current release date yet for this game, but we still, we're very excited about, the future of this game. Based off of this alpha though, we know that the PvP is coming. We know probably combat changes and things like that are coming. And so I don't know if 2024 makes sense. It is now time for your turn. Can you close the door, please? Thank you. But I do think that it's not 10 years away. So I would guess a beta, and I don't know. I would launch this game as an early access game. I think when you launch an early like whenever they feel like it's real, like they've got their core game, I would launch it with that label, so people are like, yep, all right, early access. There still might be issues and things like that, and then you let people kind of play and build, and then eventually, just like with Fortnite, all of a sudden it's like, well, it's been out for a while, it's doing well. So as soon as there's a release date and as news, I've been covering this game for, since they announced it. So as more news and things like that break, we'll be diving into it. Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. I was going to create a campsite so I can make some more food. Here we go. It's a bear. Can I do it? This guy's tough. Yes. Oof. He hit me hard. I got him though. I got a bear, baby. Large raw meat. Oh yeah, look at that stuff. Look at that beautiful stuff that he just gave me. Periwinkle. What's this? Revive? I guess he died. Do I have to hold it down? No idea. So Jacob says, Ginger Prime, I found your channel due to Final Fantasy 14 Xbox reaction. Good stuff. Love the reaction. Thanks, man. I told people, I was like, if they ever announce this game coming to Xbox, it's going to be embarrassing. Like, I'm going to freak out. And that went like so freaking viral. It was awesome. Yeah, that's gonna be fun when 14 drops on Xbox next year. Oh, we got a badger. Yeah, badger. Give me that. I love materials, baby. Need to find out how to make something to cook. Yeah. Such a fun game. Okay. Small campfire. Craft. All right, I can go ahead and craft here. Perfect. Grilled large meat, baby. Grill me some of that large meat. That's what she said. That's awesome. Thanks, Kev, for that. That visual. Just seems like another Citadel. I've never played Citadel, Scenic. And how you doing, man? Survival means fantasy, but not. How is this not a real MMO? Like, this is what I would define as a real MMO versus like a theme park. I don't think theme parks are more Diablo-esque inspired dungeon instance content versus like an MMO where it's like massive world, huge player-driven economy and impact. But again, that's just where I think the Sandbox MMO is its own genre. It needs to be classified as its own genre, as opposed to like, oh, it's an MMO. No, it's a Sandbox MMO. Big difference. Yeah, theme park versus Sandbox. Theme park more popular. Sandbox is superior. Sandbox is far superior when it comes to what I like in an MMO. I should just teleport back. All right, let's see here. What do I want to build next? So wood chopping block, already got one of those. Okay, so bellowed furnace. Size matters. Not one. Okay, let's see here. Blacksmithing. Oh, weapons and stuff. Okay, beams of wood, planks of wood, and pegs. Okay. Beams, pegs, and whatnot. Cool. Let's go ahead and craft. Yeah, Sandbox is never, I think, gonna overtake the theme park, but the Sandbox is the answer to the critiques of the theme park. But what it means is that it's going to have a smaller player base. What we want, though, is and the hope is that even though it's going to have it's not going to be the biggest option, it still ends up having enough support that it can exist. And that's the challenge, right? Because if they can't support, if the game cannot continue to exist, then we all lose. The world size in this game is massive. Yeah, trees right now currently respawn, Jordan. And so I would love to see them grow. I think if the trees grew, and then over time you saw them evolve, that would be great. Because then all of a sudden you're like, we're going to go tear down this forest, and then maybe in a week, then that forest, is back or something like that, where that would be interesting then, because that also would affect the prices of the market. All of a sudden it's like, yeah, man, somebody flooded the market with wood and now it's super cheap, and then everybody buys it up, and then it's like, oh, you got to wait a while for all the trees in this area to grow back. You make a great point. Mr. Kuhn says sub-based sandbox MMOs need to have a subscription, and that also will limit the size. But I think if players show up, if they deliver like what Pax Dei is already delivering, I would subscribe to this game. But then again, that's my perspective. I don't know if the subscription is sustainable. Like, does that keep more people away from your game? And thus that perpetual, like, oh, it's just this small game that nobody cares about. Oh yeah, Kickstarter games and things like that have been real risky. The exceptions right now seem that the ones that seem to be continuing on are Ashes of Creation and Star Citizen. And they're, Star Citizen's like getting, continues to get funded. I've decided I'm going to fund it. I'll go ahead and say stop crafting all. We're going to start making some pegs. Whew. All right. Welcome in, E. Glad to have you here. Thanks for hitting that subscribe button, dude. So I do wonder how, in the grand scheme of things, like these things would be funded. I think quite a large chunk of people are working on Star Citizen right now. Based off of what we saw with the Star Engine, Squadron 42, and so much more, it's pretty daggum exciting. Yeah, they're behind in terms of their time frame, but like they're bringing in server meshing. They're bringing like these things that they were saying, they're really pioneering technology that doesn't exist, and the risk to making that because there isn't like on the other end like, oh, we're going to be billionaires, and so people aren't throwing money at it outside of the players themselves, right? Who have wanted that. Yeah, Star Citizen's been so good, dude, and it's so exciting to see Star Citizen and honestly Star Citizen Pax Dei, like like that's I could see myself losing just so much beautiful like putting so much time into these games and just really being satisfied with them, with that, just like, what do I do? Oh, I kind of craft and gather and hang out and chat, tell people to pay off their debt. Like, welcome guys, this is the weirdest content creation place to be. It's where the weirdos hang out, and the weirdos and hopefully soon to be everyday millionaires. We'll go ahead and stop crafting for now. All right, now let's go back to building. All right, I was looking at this. So I got the rough planks of wood and beams of wood. Okay. I might have miscrafted some of the things, but that's okay. Let's see here. Plank, beam. Okay, cool. Now let's go back to building. There we go. What's this? Basic workbench. Certain amount of trial and error, or I can get a basic armor, basic blacksmith, tool. Go with this one for now. All right. Can I build another one? Okay, so that was blacksmith. Let's keep building it. Whoa! Right in. Thank you so much. Dropping a 20 bomb says, I know you're a dad like me. Got to stream when the kids are asleep. Up at 6 a.m. Time to stream. Dude, I woke up at 6 a.m. and I felt great. And I was like, all right. But I was like, wait a minute. Like, I texted Julie and I was like, hey, I'm going to go play. And if you need me at any point, just let me know and I'll wrap up stream. And I went and did something for her with the dogs a little bit around 7. And she's like, keep playing. It's Saturday. Kids are chilling. We've been hanging out. We did a lot of fun stuff yesterday and Thursday, and so I was like, yeah. So she's also giving me this afternoon to play and stream as well. So yeah, man, blessed. You know, it's like nothing, no other way to say it. Thank you so much for that support, dude. Absolutely, like so appreciated. Let's see here. That's how I'm gonna fund getting ships in Star Citizen. Is like, dude, she is absolutely a keeper. Smoking hot too, man. Just freaking gorgeous woman. Mother of my 6 children. Like, my prayer is that everybody can find somebody in this life that they wanna I don't know, try to find some happiness with. Okay, armorer. Okay, I got a blacksmith. Do I go with tools though? I'm gonna do tools. I don't know, because I don't know what this means. Okay, and then okay, yeah, all right. Let's see what I can make now. Iron hinges. So I need iron sheets and iron nails. So I do not have iron. Torch, one-handed stone axe, one-handed woodsmith axe, tier 2. Iron. Okay, I need iron head. Pickaxe. Oh, a pickaxe. Construction hammer, two-handed stone pickaxe. Long, rough wood, stock, and rock. I can probably make that. A lantern. Very cool. Oh, shoot. That's like level... okay, cool. Very easy. I should be able to make a two-handed stone pickaxe. All right, let's... I think I got the materials. Wait, sorry. Again, like, yeah, the feedback that I put in is, let me, like, track this. Long, rough wood stock. Okay, excellent. Nope, nothing in there. Short. Okay, not long. Dude, oh yeah. Long run woodstock. Let's go ahead and make that. See, like, and the scam label always is something where, like, I think it only truly applies if that was the intention from the start. But sometimes, like, you know, this is, you know, communication, PR, unspoken expectations, or what, you know, letting expectations run wild, where things just don't go according to plan. But yeah, when I was like the Ouya, I was like, what? You know, nowadays, one of the things that you're seeing that's really good, and why I continue to advocate for games to be played everywhere, is that it actually opens up more competition in the hardware space. And we're seeing that now with the handhelds. We're seeing new handhelds come about where Nintendo has had that basically on lockdown, because when it comes down to it, like, I have the Steam Deck and I have the Logitech G4 Cloud, and these are great handhelds. And the reason why they're accessible is because you can experience more games on them. And if you know, so I think the age of exclusives is continuing to be whittled down, and I think the impact of actually, like, game, you know, getting rid of exclusives means better hardware opportunities for everybody. All right, I need some rock. Do I have some rock? I do. All right, let's make it. I'm just craft one. You too, baby. Dude, the Logitech G Cloud. I was playing some Final Fantasy 16 last night, and I was like, originally I was like, I'm gonna stream the whole thing. And what that means is that I, like, after a long day, I'm tired, and so I don't feel like streaming. I don't feel like always being live. It's one of the things that a lot of people are like, oh, push to be live, and it ends up just being... That's fine. She could play whatever game she wants.
No, she's doing the same thing.
It's not your turn, though. It's her turn.
No.
No, it's not your turn. Her turn just started.
Oh.
Yeah, so it'll be your turn probably here in about 15 minutes. What's up, Ryan, dude? Thanks so much for joining me in voice, dude. Thank you so much for that that 20 spot, man.
Oh man, no problem,
You
dude.
don't have to spend money on me to get my attention. It's like, you're always welcome here. Let's see here. Appreciate that, though.
You were doing epic monologues, man.
Dude, that's all my streams are, man. Like, let's see, you know, how can I encourage people to, I don't know, be free, especially when it comes to the Sandbox, dude. Like, I see, you know, I know people are like, yeah, you know, like Sandbox not gonna be as popular. Like, you know what? Fine. It's like, I'm perfectly fine if it's not as popular.
Nah, I think Pax Dei is probably gonna break it a little bit, just because like.
Oh, that's an interesting discussion. Why do you think that?
Well, I mean, look at the success of a game like Valheim, right? Like with like N64 type graphics, and it just blew up. And now you have a game similar to that with some MMORPG elements, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then the graphics, which typically, in my personal opinion, and it could be wrong, but if you have a really, really stunning graphical game, it will lure audiences in to like at least try it out, right? Like, so
Yes, agreed.
it might end up being like New World, where because of the graphics you get 1 million people, and then 3 months later, only
the
100,000 are in it.
population drops off, but 100,000 is great. Like, that's where when gamers like just go crazy or ham about player numbers, and it's like, dude, like, just let, you know, like, does the game have enough support that it can continue on? And that's really what's important, because hype will come in and it will come out, right? Like, as updates flow in. And I don't know what I can use this pick for. I hope I can find something to farm with it. But yeah, like, that's your numbers will, like, especially in new MMO, like a lot of excitement gets built up around new MMOs, and then it dips off and drops down, and that's fine. Hey, what's going on, Stoic? I'm having a great Saturday.
Isn't it like the average MMO drops like 50% of its starting?
I think the
player
average
base?
MMO actually drops around 80 to 90%. And if you go look at, and what they don't show is that, you know, that happens to everybody. I think when Endwalker came out, like, you saw Final Fantasy's population drop 90% as well, because people finish the story. It's like, but it's a not story because the game is enjoyable. People enjoy it. What they try to do it is that, and it's weird because people are like, I want new MMOs, but if any of them come out, we're going to cheer their success and we're going to cheer their downfall. And then they're like, why aren't there any new MMOs? It's like, you literally are telling all industry to stay the hell out of this. We're not gonna reward your financial effort. Okay, I have no idea what a pickaxe is for. Maybe there's got to be something I can farm with this thing, because I want some iron. Yeah, I don't. The PSP. Oh, there we go. Genesis deposit. Well, anyway, I don't know what I need to do with that. Back to the craft.
Hey, here's a pickaxe.
Yeah.
Go mine iron. Oh, well, you can't mine iron with the pickaxe. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, all right.
I wish there was a game that kind of mixed like, and you hear about hybrids, but maybe like, you know, like the story and like the theme park of New World, but then after you finish that, then maybe like there was a whole vast open land where like people could go build their own cities and villages. If you've seen some of these YouTube videos, like Pax Dei, so you have your little theme park in the beginning, maybe to get to max level, and then boom, then it turns into like a Pax Dei or Valheim.
Right, because that becomes an invitation that people can easily understand. Oh, okay, because like remember that if you think about language, right? Most MMO players have all been trained on, you know, WoW. You know, so it's like, oh, WoW does this, and if it doesn't do what WoW does, then you get confused, and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. So when it comes down to that, like, you have the theme park that is basically the introduction, and in Star Citizen, people say that's like Arena Commander, or what they're doing is an interesting kind of strategy is while they have a sandbox, they also have Squadron 42 to act as that narrative-driven story, and I think that's actually pretty smart too, where it's just like, okay, we can tell these deep lore impactful stories And then if you want to keep playing after you finish the story, welcome to the sandbox. You know, it's like, here you go. And you can end up then creating, and what will end up, you know, what I like about the sandbox is that it ends up creating their own stories. Players end up making their own stories.
Oh yeah, and I think the really cool thing that I think about Pax Dei that, you know, games maybe like Valheim is not able to do. They say they're looking for like a max server of like 20,000 per server, which I think is absolute crazy. But if it really is that much, well, guess what? Now when you walk around, instead of only having 10 people servers, you could literally walk into like a whole village or something like that, or a whole town that a guild's built, and you're just like, oh, what is this? And like, I think that's going to be the difference between this one and other, you know, sandbox survival type games.
Yeah. How much clay do I have? Have any clay left? Might have to go on a quest for clay. Yeah, I like the phrase that always annoys me about it is like, an MMO that respects your time. It's like that tells me that makes it sound awful. It's like, it shouldn't respect your time. It should be what it needs to be. Swotar. Like I can never really get into the Star Wars MMO. Let's go get some clay. One thing I cannot tell is like, what does this food buff give me? Like, where are my stats? Skills. Oh, cool. Crafting and gathering. Combat skills, hand axes, one-handed clubs. Nice. Different levels there.
Where's your health bar and stamina bar at?
It's probably below the little, you know, YouTube, you know, thing. But yeah, I got 132 HP now, which is great. Dude, Guild Wars 2 is such a great game, and they market it so odd. Because it's like, marketing ends up being, I think is an important factor in a lot of these games, because out of sight, out of mind. And so that's where, like, I think streaming and sandbox games might end up having a, you know, when you get that, like when you get a high quality game like Pax Dei, I think streaming will end up being a huge help to it, because for the players who are actually interested in it, you could end up educating a player who's been just, you know, trained on theme park, and ease them into it and end up having that social aspect, because, you know, it's like me when I stream is just like a giant text message to all of y'all, like, hey, come hang out, you know. And if you guys aren't aware, you can always come hang out and join in on voice chat right here, you know, so y'all are welcome to. Links are all in the description. But yeah, like this is why I game. To hang out, talk to gamers, man. So Stoic, how you doing, man? How you been? See, Ash just says, I had such a hard time getting into Guild Wars 2. I think that it's primarily my love for the Trinity setup. It looks great, but I have tried multiple times. I get into like sprints with Guild Wars 2, where it's like, oh yeah, and then it's like, okay. I love how they, like, there's so many things they do that I'm like, I wish all MMOs would take into account, like their open world, you know, system in which that you have all these things going on in the open world, so it always feels very populated, you know. And it isn't that like a game like right here where it's like, yeah, I haven't seen another player for a while, and that's fine, but obviously it's an alpha, it's limited, and the world's massive. But it's like, yeah, you can have these times of isolation, but it's also times where you're like, oh man, I see another player, this is crazy, you know. I'm looking for clay. I think clay is by waterways. They said, is it Q to auto run? Yes, Q to auto run, baby.
Wait, did you build all this stuff?
No, I didn't build all this stuff. That'd be really impressive. I'm still working on building my first house, which is like, I'm just more or less learning all the different things about crafting. But this is so cool. Like, but this is player built. And so players built this city. This city did not exist. And so they have built this city. Isn't that awesome?
Dude, that's so insane.
And so it's just, I think, and oh man, it's gonna be crazy, dude.
And see, this is like, I think the one thing that's missing in games like Valheim, which is still a super popular game, right? It's like, you could just randomly walk around and see a whole entire city, and you know for a fact it was human created and not just, you know, procedurally generated.
Exactly. Go find some waterway here. Start. And then beyond just the human generated, it's like with PvP, with like, I still like, you know, I'm curious about the overall game loop behind this game, you know, but you know, there's going to be the sandbox element, but you know, like what's the, like, are there, you know, because there's clans, like, is it like, hey, let's try and take over, you know, X, Y, or Z, or get more land, or, you know, obviously the gear stuff will be interesting, and I'm sure there's gonna be some crazy content to play, but
I'm so now I'm interested in like the combat, because I believe I read something in the alpha that says, hey, just so you know, combat's nowhere near ready, so it's not where it should be. I'm wondering if they have like magic, like mages and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, you get your
really?
spells and abilities from your gear. So yeah, the combat isn't. This isn't the combat update. Like I fought a bear, I fought some, you know, enemies in the world, but it's this is more about like, okay, crafting, gathering, and building, and also kind of the stress test, like, hey, how's the server net code holding up and things like that. So it's good, pretty good. Screech Rand says, what's this game about? This is a sandbox MMORPG built like kind of with cloud in mind, Unreal Engine 5, and I think in a way it's like part evolution of, like, it feels like I feel the inspiration from Valheim. That's when I was playing Valheim, I was like, okay, we can get 10 people. Like, what if we could get like thousands of people? and then what does that look like? You know, so I think that's going to be something interesting to see in the long run. Running along the rivers looking for clay. Clay is so important. It's like, what do you do in this game, Brian? I farm clay for people who have more time to game than I do. So I just run around and find clay. But yeah, player-driven economy. I'm curious about like how you access the markets as well. Like, is it something where it's like I gotta take all my stuff to town, put it on a cart, you know, or is it like, okay, you just have access to the markets, you know?
Ooh, you know, it'd be cool if maybe you gotta craft like, you know, like a caravan and tame some horses, and like it just sits in your house, but that's kind of like your market, and when that's how you put stuff on the market, like through a caravan system.
Yeah, I like. I also like that. I like real time, you know, travel. Like that's, you know, something I like about Star Citizen, because, you know, it builds in downtime, and that means you end up engaging in systems that are social. It means you end up engaging in things that maybe you wouldn't normally, because you're like, oh, how do I pass the time while I'm traveling to take my goods to market? Oh, okay, well, we'll chat with people. I'm gonna go on a rant about getting out of debt. All right. I never got into Arcade, but I know they're working on another Arcade, and that's also gonna be Sandbox. So I'm gonna have to like spend more time with these Sandbox MMOs. And as I lose weight and can play a little bit, you know, more, it's gonna be great. Oh, cool. Yeah, good to know. If you have to deafen, no worries, dude. Still, I'm gonna get as much clay as possible. Fill up my entire inventory with it.
Yeah, man, how's your weight loss journey going, dude?
Okay. It has been 30 minutes, so you can let Annie know that it's your turn now.
I know.
Look how beautiful this is, man. Like, this is such a breathtaking game. I cannot wait. I've already been following it. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, Sandbox, made by the team who made Eve. Like, oh my gosh, fantasy based, awesome. You know, because that's also gonna be fun. Like as a fun contrast to what Star Citizen is, where it's like this global experience. Hey, Annie, sweetheart, it is Mikey's turn. It's been 30 minutes. Looking for more clay. But yeah, I think honestly, yeah, the subscription model, especially for Sandbox, is such a, I think, a healthy model for the game in and of itself. And I think that's where I do wonder though, like, how do you make it so that, like, if you're not subscribed, you can like check out the game. You make it easy for people to get in, because adding a subscription, I think, will drive a lot of people away, you know. And you know, does that limit you in the long run?
I think like if you made a subscription model which A, rewards the players, and B, also rewards the developers in a way to show them they're good. So for instance, let's just say it's $15 a month, but hey, if we get 500,000 concurrent players,
yeah,
we'll drop it to $10 a month. If we get 1 million concurrent players, we'll drop it to $5 a month. You know, if we get 2 million concurrent players, hey, we'll just drop it down to $2 a month, because like, but
that's an interesting model, a sliding scale.
A sliding scale. The more people that are concurrent, the A, it shows A, the developers are good, but A, you're also rewarding the players, right? But you would have to take some greed out of it. Like overall, you would still make more money, right? In the long run, having more players with less of a subscription base, but you'd have to be not so greedy, you know? When it comes
would you want to see
money.
something like the WoW token? Because I see Mr. Kuhn says, I think the WoW token solves the problem, people not having money for a sub. So it's like you could play, or you could farm, and if you make enough money, you could just purchase game time. What do you think about that?
I think that's cool. I mean, old school RuneScape does that, right? Like with their subscription based, I believe. Like people buy subscriptions, but you can make enough in money, like currency, to pay for your subscription in game, so you never have to spend money again.
Yeah, I think that would be a good model.
That's awesome.
I think that'd be a good model, especially like if you have that model with it in mind from day one, so that it doesn't, you know, so the expectation is set. Like, yeah, there's a sub, and there's a sub because financially, like, that's what it's going to take to support this game. Okay, cool. But if you want to play enough, you know, and somebody else is like, you know what? Yeah, I'd rather just, you know, sell game time to other players, you know, like that ends up, I think, being a pretty reasonable mindset. But then, you know, like I've seen people label that pay to win. So it's like, yeah, you can't escape the opinions of people, and that's okay. Stoic says, how's my weight loss journey been so far? Last check, I had my my lowest A1C at 5.7. I believe I'm coming up on 50 pounds down. I haven't officially, I don't weigh anymore. I just only weigh when I go see my scheduled doctor appointments. Just because it's like, yeah, I'm just doing really well. I've been on my testosterone replacement, so my testosterone is back at 800, which was funny. Some people was like, you've changed, man. It's like, no, I'm just not encumbered. Like, man, I've been encumbered for so long. Yeah, like I'm a little bit more me, a little bit much sometimes, but I don't know, it's good. Yeah, I got my clothes, like, are actually, like, I got to figure out some new church clothes, because they're really baggy. Like, and so my pants, actually, I got into my first set of gold pants. So my waist is at a 40 around the belly. And I actually am on the last belt loop. If I don't go around my belly, I'm on my last belt loop. If I do go around the belly, I've got two, like I'm on the, you know, third belt loop. And this is a belt that I couldn't even wear the other day. It wouldn't fit at all. So it's just insane. And so thank you. And yeah, the overall goal is to lose 100 pounds. And that is, I think, something that is going to be, that I will get to announced in 2024. And it is such a good thing. I would encourage every one of you guys, especially if you're struggling to lose weight. Because for me, I was like, I'm doing everything everybody's told me to do. Why am I so weight? Hey, gorgeous. I have this up so I can see it. Am I missing calls? I'm sorry. Is it time to wrap up? Okay. Okay. It's, oh my gosh. Before I wrap up, thank you, Mr. Worldwide Warrior Light, for that 20 spot. Says video game controller throws face down tantrum in between the words rage quit. But yeah, also, if you guys haven't seen, if you're just joining, the game does support controllers, and we're having some fun with that. So I think that's going to open up a lot of accessibility. It means more people. And I'll be back later today around I think 2 p.m. ish. So just give me that level of flexibility. All right, guys. Sorry to dip and run. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next live stream later today. So it's going to be fun. Bye.